All right. How's everybody doing? Hi, I'm Chef Harmon. Thank you so much for being here at the Red Dot and being part of this health and wellness first of its kind class being offered at this restaurant. And I'm just very humbled by this opportunity for letting me speak to you. And in eternal gratitude to that great sustaining mother who takes care of us all, provides for us all, has been, is always going to. So we are all indebted to her for she takes care of us. And thank you so much for being here and letting me share a little bit of what I know. All right. Okay, so in front of you, you have some form, a little questionnaire we designed. We wanted the talk to be loosely based around some topics that might concern everybody. And obviously, there's a host of things out there, I know. What to eat, what not to eat, who's eating what, and I want to stop eating this and I want to eat more of that. And there's a range of topics out there that are really, really of interest right now. We have lots of autoimmune diseases, we have lots of other diseases on the rise, we have things that have become epidemics, we have things that we've never seen before. Obese children, we're seeing reoccurrence of diseases which we thought we had well under control. So it's been a very enriching, at the same time a very startling experience to keep up with it all. And I applaud all of you here who are trying to educate themselves and are trying to gain knowledge, true knowledge, and whatever is applicable to you. I understand everybody has a different lifestyle, everybody has a different background where they all come from, and everybody's in different age brackets, so everybody's needs are different. And how to balance all that, and how to make that work. And I hope I can show you some things. The first question on the topic is freshness in vegetables. What does that mean? We're going to cover all of these one by one. But before I do, I would like to get just a little survey, if I can. If anybody's following any particular guidelines or diets, or if anybody has anything to share about what they're doing, and you guys can all speak freely, so it's not a problem. Is there any vegans in this little group here? There's 2 vegans. Any gluten-free people? There's 2 vegans. And anybody else who has allergies to anything? Okay, there's a couple of people who have allergies. And other than that, this is not about vegetarianism or like eating meat or how to avoid eating meat. I'm not here trying to get into that debate. I'm simply here to share with you what can we gain about understanding about vegetables and how to prepare them, and I just want to focus on that. So I'm not trying to get people to, say this is better over this. It's not about that. It's about what works for you, and I can show you a few things which might work for you. So, freshness of vegetables. What does that mean? Does anybody have an idea what is freshness of vegetables? All right, from a garden.
Not frozen.
Not frozen.
Full of life.
Full of life.
No pesticides?
No pesticides.
And at ripening, not a week ahead.
Yes, that's a very, very important one.
Yes, it is.
In season.
In season, definitely. What are we seeing here in the trend as far as grocery stores have been doing? What has been the model of grocery stores where you guys buy your vegetables has to be stock vegetables more and more readily of what people want. So the demand to get vegetables, so you can you can drive profit margins is to have populate the grocery aisles with things that are not ready in season yet. It's fly it from here, bring it from here, purchase it from there, and let's stock it, and let's attract people, and let's create this environment where people can have all this choice. Well, what has all that choice gotten us? We have so much choice inside our grocery stores. What has that gotten us? Has that gotten us closer to health? You're offered every sort of vegetable choice, fruit choice. You think people would be just walking in there without any problems, and they're understanding, and they just go and they pick things, and they're just exchanging ideas, and it's just a great occurring event. No, it's not the case. I still see people in grocery aisles. I still see people look and don't know what to do. They stick to what they know, and they're not sure. I see people looking at produce. Should I get this? Should I not? I see people mulling it over, looking at it. I see some people who are by design of, like, whether they have families, they know exactly what to do because that's what works. They've got kids at home, they've got a husband, they know this is what they're going to make tonight because that's what they've done, and that's easy. It's easy to go to. But freshness of vegetable, it has a lot to do with what you said. It is about ripeness. It's about when the vegetable was planted, when it came into season, when it got harvested, and when it made it at its peak ripeness, at its peak season. Because the difference is enormous. It is enormous. If you see a vegetable that is on the vine, which has been collecting nutrients, which has been working hard to grow and get to that perfect ripeness, where that nutrient content is really at it's coming into those levels that we talk about. And I'll explain that more in detail why that is because when the nutrient content inside the vegetable is at its best, the cells inside your body receive that the easiest. There's no great conflict that takes place. It's very simple. The vegetable is at its peak, and you are ready to receive. Your body just says, okay, this is easy. I don't have to do anything. This is just going to just readily absorb into my bloodstream. And that's why picking vegetables is so important. And fresh vegetables. I'm going to just demonstrate that. This is golden squash. Now, if you were to see this in a grocery aisle, you see that it's sitting there, you're tempted, you're like, okay, squash is good for me. Actually, it's an excellent vegetable. And if you don't know, squash, zucchini, anybody in this family, you should eat. You should definitely eat. It's just an incredible vegetable. It can be cooked in so many different ways. It lends itself so easily in soups and stews. You can roast it, you can grill it. You can have it any which way you'd like it. And it is just amazing for you. It's one of the things that people who have so much inflammation inside their system, that it's recommended that they eat squash-like vegetables because it reduces the amount of inflammation that's inside in the gut. It's something that soothes and medicates the insides. So it's not just good for you, but it's healing your insides if you're having it. If you were to just simply boil squash and eat it for, 2 weeks straight, which doesn't sound that amazing, but I guarantee you, your body would be thanking you. It would be absolutely thanking you. Why? Because it's such a simple food. It's healing the insides of your gut. It's letting your gut recover from all this abuse. The abuse comes from eating at different times, eating foods that we can't possibly digest. We're imposing so much on our digestive system, and it's not possible for our digestive system to really manage this demand that you are imposing. So if you are going to eat fresh vegetables, how to recognize fresh vegetables? This is a tender golden squash. And this is a one that is on its way out of ripeness. The bigger one The seeds will be thicker. The flesh is going to feel more spongy. When you cut into it, you might not be able to say, oh, well, this looks like, oh, well, if I cut this, I'll get more squash and it's bigger. You know, there's a lot of different people who interpret it in a different way. Well, why should I get a smaller squash? This is per pound. I should get a bigger squash for the value. But that little tender one, it's carrying peak nutrients. It's sweeter. What does it mean when you say vegetable is sweet? That means the nutrients are ready. Everything in life, when it reaches its proper ripening process, reaches a sugar level, which is perfect. That's the sweetness you can not only taste in fruits, but you can taste in vegetables as well. Very easily. And I want to implore you, I want to really have you understand the necessity to eat vegetables that are tender, that are ripe, that are in season, and not compromise something like that. And that goes for tomatoes, that goes for cucumbers. Back in the days, you know, they used to put things just in the larder, or in the you know, there was the buttery, and there was all these terms. And that's how they stored things. They didn't have refrigeration. And you know, you can, if you buy what you need, you don't have to worry about refrigerating it so long. Try to buy what you need and just shop. And go out and go and get it again. Where I come from, the lady of the house leaves 3 times a day. She leaves 3 times a day. She goes, gets the vegetables. She prepares the food. She goes, gets the vegetables. And whatever grain she needs, she prepares the food. And then she does it again. And sometimes there's a 4th trip. It's very, very normal to go to the bazaar, go to the vegetable market and shop for fresh, what's in season. And these are people who grow them from their farms and they bring them. I mean, we see, you know, when we see farmers markets, it's coming back. You see that renaissance is coming back, that idea is coming back. Any of you ever visit farmers markets? Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll see that these people take such a pride in the produce, but you see what they have to fight. They have to fight all that dogma, all that stigma from the grocery markets. These guys who have monopolized, they have to, and they try, and they're getting that chance, they're getting that platform to present you produce which they lovingly grow. And because they are going through such arduous effort, you should. But I don't say boycott supermarkets. Supermarkets also understand that the change is happening and a change needs to happen. So they're introducing more organic options. Sometimes it's not feasible. I still say don't get stuck on labels. It's not about organic, not organic. I get it. Make the conscious choice when it's possible. Do you think with you in just a matter of months to stop eating inorganic vegetables that you're going to see such a reversal in your health? Do you think that you're just going to reclaim your health because all of a sudden you're not eating sprayed vegetables and fruit? It's not possible. It's not possible. And people who are trying to push this ideology are simply creating divisions. Understand that to change your diet means to really make an impact on a cellular level inside your body, and it's not simply going to happen overnight. You're going to have to work at it. And you're going to have to see for yourself the results. The second thing, how to choose and cook vegetables. That brings me to this point. How to cook vegetables. Now, I understand that everybody has specific areas that they come from. You come from a certain background and you're used to cooking the vegetables, but that's not exactly the best way to eat that particular vegetable. I know that certain dishes require that you mush them, you cook them too much. And that's what this raw vegan movement is all about. The raw vegan movement says that when the moment that the vegetable hits the pan, the cells are already breaking down, you're already killing off the nutrients inside. Sure, that's true. I agree. But I don't think that it's possible to suddenly go to raw overnight. It's not. Even if you could eat raw all the time, it's not possible for your body to uptake all that raw food. You're not going to turn into some glowing, beauty goddess or whatever in the case to have you overnight. It's not going to be an instant transformation. What a lot of people think. I understand the youngsters are pushing a lot of these trends. They're pioneering, they're championing. You see them on YouTube. They leave videos. They say that, oh, we're done with this old lifestyle and we don't want to go backwards. We should march on forward. This is how we were meant to eat. I applaud them, but I really want to say, what do you know about gardening? What do you know about the pressures of gardening and growing? The agricultural sector in this country, how they feel the impact, how the farmers feel the impact. You have to really connect all the dots. And that's what educating yourself is all about. So cooking of the vegetables. I will also demonstrate how to cook what I think is the good way to cook for vegetables. We'll continue and we'll get to that. So, does everybody feel like they understand how to cook vegetables? Let me just get that question out there. How do you cook vegetables? Anybody, please feel emboldened and share. Well, how have you done it in the past? What's a good recipe that you know?
Soup.
Soups are good. How do you cook a soup? Anybody? There's no wrong or right. Speak up. Together, or what do you start with?
A little water.
Okay.
A little oil maybe,
Okay.
onion,
Okay.
and vegetables, and whatever.
And you build a base.
I build the base.
You build a base, you build flavor. Now, you understand you can't cook that vegetable to completeness. You cannot. You can get a little bit where what is happening when you introduce fire is you're drawing out the natural sugars in a vegetable or anything for that matter, even if it's protein. When you put it on fire, you're trying to draw out its natural sugars. That's what makes food taste good to you. That's how you've known food. That is your earliest formed memory. That is how it is. You are eating for that. That is the reason why you're eating. Those sugars come out, and the flavor comes out of the vegetable, and then you're able to eat it. Whether it's a piece of meat, whether it's a piece of vegetable, that's what you're attracted to. That's what you try to do. And of course, I understand the benefits of eating raw fruits. That's something else. Fruits are on a scale. Things that grow on the ground carry a certain vibration. They have a lot of nutrient, and they grow, and they pick up a lot of wonderful minerals and everything. But things like fruits are the highest in vibration. So if I wanna grade things, I would put the fruits at top, because the fact that they grow on trees and the fact that they are so easily accessible, their inner working, it just makes them the highest vibration. As in, it goes inside, it gives up its nutrients the fastest. It's the easiest to digest. It's the one that gives you the fastest energy you need. And yes, you get hungry soon after. That's why no one is satisfied just with eating an apple.
That's why.
Because it just goes inside, it does what it needs to, and it's done, it's finished. You've gotten the fiber you need, you've gotten the vitamins you need, you've gotten the nutrients you need, and you're done. Vegetables are on the second tier of energy uptake. They are a little bit harder to digest because of more complex fiber inside vegetables. You have vegetables that contain a lot of fiber, the cruciferous vegetables. As you see right there, my favorite, the cauliflower. It's a little bit harder. The broccoli, it's harder. Some of the greens are tougher. to break them down. So it takes a little bit longer, not that much longer, but it takes a little bit longer. Then you get some simple proteins, then you get grains, and then you get the meats, which take the longest to break down. It takes you 9 hours to break down animal protein for your body. That's 9 hours your body's constantly trying to break this thing down and get something from it. That's 9 hours that your digestive system is completely engaged. You are wondering where your energy is going? It's going in your digestive system. Just trying to process. Only time we get a break is when we're sleeping. And even then, if we've eaten a heavy meal, it's still processing. Your digestive system hardly gets a break. You think you're up, but your digestive system is barely just finished. And again, breakfast comes along. You decide to have toast and bacon or sausage or whatever else. I'm not saying everybody does that. But nonetheless, even if you eat things like bread, it's harder for the body to break down grains. It just is. You would do yourself a wonderful favor if you drank a nice warm tall glass of water in the morning when you woke up with a little bit of lemon juice inside. Give your digestive system that 10 minutes of time before you decided to put something inside it. Wait, then eat some fruit. Start off with some oatmeal, just something light, something that can easily be absorbed, and it doesn't burden your digestive system right off the bat. You can slowly work into it. And this is the modality of eating properly, how we go about it. Anybody have any questions? Anything?
How long does it take for grains to break down?
Grains are on an average 3.5 to 4.5 hours. Things like rice though, it's tricky. Modified rice goes inside and it swells even more inside your digestive tract. So first it fills itself up with more, because that's the nature of it. Rice swells up. Things like grain, they swell up if there's not enough fiber in them. They can swell up, that's okay, but gosh, there should be some fiber along with that. Because fiber makes it easier for the gut to move it along. And that's what you want. And again, it's quantity. It's what kind of portions are you eating? Have you seen your portions? Does it work for you? Are you so convinced that if you eat less that you won't have the energy? And it goes back to are you eating to live? Or you live to eat? What are you following? What is the inner prompting that you're following? If you're so disconnected from that idea, you are not going to be able to get in tune with yourself. The body's responding with all sorts of messages constantly. The body is telling you, even if the rhythm is a little bit off, if the cellular exchange is a little bit off, the body gives a prompting. The body gives you, it never lets you down, it never makes you want it, but it says, hey, this is what, you have to get in tune with that. And it's an incredible thing. Once that happens, you will know what to eat. That day, you won't eat anything else. A person who's completely in touch with their inner tuning will say, today, I just need a banana. Or I just need some oatmeal. Or I just need some spinach. Or I just need some squash. Or I need an apple or a mango or a watermelon. So we'll get into that a little bit further. The second question is spices. Here at the Red Dot, we cook with a lot of spices. We love spices here. Why? Spices are number one anti-inflammatory. Indians have been doing it, and I mean from the subcontinent, have been doing it for hundreds and hundreds of years. Why? Because spices fight inflammation. That's the reason why most curries have that smell that you guys perhaps may or may not enjoy, you're not sure about. Ooh, curry. Doesn't that mean spices? Oh, it's got turmeric in it, it's got ground coriander in it, it's got ground cumin in it, it's got black pepper in it. But you know, they have over years mastered spice, powerful antioxidant combinations, anti-inflammatory combinations of spices. For example, turmeric and black pepper. Indians understand that these two go hand in hand. You think you can just jump on the turmeric bandwagon, which is right now everybody says, eat turmeric, eat turmeric, eat turmeric. You can't uptake that much turmeric, especially if you don't come from a turmeric background. I come from a turmeric background. And I can tell you that I have grown up eating turmeric. It's been put in literally everything that I eat. And it is highly anti-inflammatory. But if you couple turmeric with black pepper, its efficacy doubles. Your ability to take in turmeric and let it heal you doubles. All you need is a little bit of fat. What is fat? Fat is very essential. Do not treat fat like a bad member of the family and let them stay outside. No, fat is good. Fat is it's a medium. It's the fastest accessible way to use up energy. Fat is faster than sugars. Fat is faster than protein. Fat burns better inside your body. Sugar goes high and boom, down. Fat doesn't do that. Proteins, such a lengthy time to get what you need out of them. Fat's not like that. This ketogenesis diet, the keto diet, that's what it's all about. It's based on eating fat. Eating fat. Switching from carbohydrates, which is sugars, to fats. You're switching your source of energy. You're no longer relying on carbs to fuel you. You are relying, and of course the weight loss happens. Fats are easier. People worry, well, gosh, this is gonna probably impact your, I bet, but it's also you're going to see dramatic results. You know, to offset something, you're gonna get a little bump. It's gonna be a little bumpy. You've stopped eating carbohydrates, you've switched to fats, it's dramatic. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a bit of a bumpy ride. You're switching the way your body uses fuel. It's bound to have some impact on you. So that is something definitely to consider. So a little bit of fat, a little bit of turmeric, a little bit of black pepper. So you add either olive oil and you put a little turmeric, ground turmeric, which we have here. It's wonderful. We get fresh roots from wholesalers, Asian exotic wholesalers. We get fresh roots of turmeric. We dehydrate them. We control the dehydration and then we ground it. You get a really potent turmeric. And that brings me to the next thing, how to recognize freshness in spices. What are they about? I'm gonna pass around some spices to you guys. This is what we use here at the Red Dot. Just a small little collection. And the turmeric, I'm gonna put on the coconut so you guys can see. It's a dried piece of turmeric root.
Cinnamon.
And the turmeric will be on the coconut, on the dried, that's a turmeric root that's been completely dehydrated, which is then ground up to make turmeric. It's not been overly processed. It's incredible. It contains all of its properties, which, you know, they are rightly founded. I mean, there is a reason why people think people should eat more turmeric. Because when you do the research, the facts are right there. Turmeric contains such incredible healing properties. Really, it does.
What's all of this here?
Yes, you should.
Sure. So what I have there
A lot of things in there.
Touch it.
Yes,
taste it,
feel
pick
it.
up, take some
This is
home.
cardamom, white cardamom.
Okay.
This is black cardamom. Incredible. A little bit of this inside your stews or in your rice dishes or beans or anything like that. Black cardamom. Just break one open and put it inside and watch it make everything aromatic. Wonderful cinnamon.
Some of the
Allspice berries. Star anise. Try making an Asian soup and put a little star anise inside. Chili peppers of all kinds.
Okay.
There's allspice. There's green cardamom.
What's that black?
This is called kokum. It's a natural astringent. Kokum makes things sour. When you put it in rice, it makes things sour, adds a souring agent. It's like a tamarind.
How do you spell that? I just like to
Kokum, kokum. And it's incredible to use these spices. Cloves.
cloves, yeah. You can smell the cloves. Peppers we know.
Please do not be fooled into going inside your grocery aisle and seeing ground cumin.
Do you want to tell them about cardamom? This is fresh. And the stickier the seeds.
We'll pass this around. This is cardamom seeds.
Okay.
And usually in every grocery store, it's like this. It should be
Ah, it
black
should be like
and
this.
sticky.
Black and sticky.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you take cardamom, you go and find cardamom powder. They take the whole pod and they grind it and they pack it. Well, inside vacuum packed, inside glass jars, whatever, it's not the same. It's nowhere near the same.
They get it here, so you come here.
I'll pass this around. This is fenugreek leaves, dried, fresh fenugreek leaves. If you've been paying attention to the weightlifting community or the bodybuilding community, in their protein powders, they're adding fenugreek powder because it has incredible strengthening processes inside. If you could take the seed, you turn it into powder, you add it, you consume that, your body recovers like 5 times faster.
What about, I have fenugreek tea that I bought, so it's probably not the freshest, but I've heard that it also helps when you get sick, it helps brain and draw out the mucus.
Absolutely.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay.
100%. But nothing like finding fresh fenugreek and putting it inside your sauteed vegetables, cooking it with some sweet yams. It's out of this world because it happens instantaneously. I'll let you guys enjoy that little.
What is the name of that again? The star something?
Star anise. It's a star-shaped spice. You have a whole
Yes,
one
it's in there.
It's in there.
Yes. ANISE.
And there's other things that
Is
are.
it like licorice? Is it like anisette?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like the cousin of the fennel, the cousin of the anise. It has the same licorice sort of quality. And licorice root is incredibly good for you. If you make tea out of licorice root, you all know back in the days how popular as an aid it was, as a tincture or a tonic. I mean, people had it all the time. Back in the day, licorice root was very popular. But you know, as we get more modernized, we start to let go of things because they're not as popular. We find them a little bit more like, oh, this is that old-fashioned. This is not really what it is. Or people just move on. People just move on from tradition. I'm going to pass around garam masala, which is made out of a collection of ground spices. It's a unique masala. It's made from cumin, coriander, black pepper, cinnamon, and cardamom. This little potent antioxidant super powerhouse can be added to your rice dishes, to your beans, to your vegetables, to sauteed spinach. And garam masala is really, it's incredible. Its use is incredible. What is this going to do? What is adding spices going to do to your diet?
Help it.
Absolutely. You are aiding vegetables. You're aiding the grains. You're aiding the beans. You are supercharging them. Now they are coated with these spices, and now when they go inside your body, they go and they fight inflammation. They take out lymphatic that has been stuck inside, clogged up lymph. This is what causes inflammation. The reason why your system is not behaving, why you don't have vigor inside you, why you don't have that oomph inside you, which you should have up to 70, 75, 80. Why? Is because there is trapped lymphatic. The lymphatic drainage is not occurring properly. Why is that not happening properly? Because the cells are overworking. They're working hard to find nutrient. The balance is all thrown off. You have to understand how this wonderful body works. The lymphatic system has to be working. It's your drainage system. Once the cells are done with the waste, where does that waste go? Your lymphatic system is responsible for metabolic waste. Where is that waste going? That waste is going inside your lymph nodes, and it's moving from inside your blood. It's purifying. The lymphatic system is purifying your blood. It's taking all the waste and it's pumping it. But if these drains are clogged, what's going to happen? Cells are not going to be able to uptake any more new things because that's backed up. So how can they throw more? Cells are now working less efficiently. It's all comes down to the cells. Health is cellular health. If your cells are burdened, are overtaxed, you're not going to see the results of health. I don't care even if you have dramatic weight loss. It's still possible to lose weight, but it's not possible to get a good cellular activity, good cellular metabolic rates inside your body. How to understand yourself on a cellular level. That is what you must push for. And spices are incredible because what they're doing is they're charging up the vegetables or the beans or the grains. They're balancing out. Certain grains have an acidic profile. So what do the spices do? They take that acid and they turn it a little more alkaline. So the spices are alkalizing the acidity that is naturally present. There's naturally present acidity in things and there's natural present alkalinity in things. Spices tend to push things towards alkalinity, which is great. You want to go to a more neutral. You want to get to a more neutral pH. That magic. Everything on this wonderful planet is governed by a harmonic, a wonderful medium. The earth is only so far away from the sun, so plants thrive and life thrives. Everything is governed by this magical thing. It's everywhere in life. It's the same way inside your blood and your body. There's a magical pH where cells are happy, your body's happy, the functioning is great, everything is moving, everything is happening without effort, without overburdening, without taxation. And let me not even bring in the fact when you start to think that you can doctor yourself, how much interference are you really doing to yourself? When you decide to embark on some new thing, you might be thinking that, I'm going to, do this. Eat cottage cheese with potatoes. It's not the best route. Understand what you are experiencing first and slowly get into your health. Slowly, easily. You're not going to be able to figure it out. The more you read and listen to this person or that person, or even me for that matter, it's not going to suddenly reveal itself to you, the problems. And the problems are hiding. Disease has not been able, how is it possible that we can think of launching satellites, habitats on another planet? I mean, all this advancement, and that we cannot figure out health problems. How is that possible? That means that we have mentalized this situation to such an extent that we have pushed ourselves away from the cure. We're not letting the cure happen to us. Why? Because we are filling ourselves up with all this information which is not allowing, because your mental thinking disrupts the body's natural functioning. You worrying about your body disrupts the body's natural functioning. Everything that's not natural to who you are and how your body and how you function as an organism disrupts its natural rhythm. How are you going to claim health? How? It's going to be very tough. The damage has been going on for generations. And you see it in the kids. They have all sorts of deficiencies. They have all sorts of disorders.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I was in a marketing class at SUNY Ulster, and I'm taking some courses, and this was just 2 semesters ago. 25 students, age 18 to 25. I'm the oldest. My professor came out, she's a vegetarian, we were talking about branding food, that's why this came out. She asked, how many students here are having digestive problems? 3/4 of my class raised their hands at age 18 to 25. It blew me away. I was like, you kids should not even have any digestive problems at all, none. But this is what's happening. And when we had bake sale, I do gluten cookies because I know of friends that had gluten sensitivity. Well, I didn't think anything of it. They were the first to go at the college bake sale than any other pastry or anything else that was baked. And that kind of, I was like, oh my gosh.
You're looking at an epidemic, you're looking at such a thing where such young systems are severely compromised.
They are.
Severely compromised. In the medical industry, everybody knows you're looking at a crisis on every level, and especially in the more modernized countries, where you think that you wouldn't have that problem. We know third world countries are suffering from malnutrition and poor water, poor sanitation, and poor everything. But here in the modernized world, why would we suffer such consequences? We have all the choices, but yet we have nothing to show for it. Why is that? So spices, what to buy, what not to buy. Spices that are already ground up, sitting in a jar, pretty bottles inside Whole Foods, or whatever it is, from Albertsons to Ralph's to, it doesn't matter. If they're sitting there on the shelf, you don't know when they were ground up, when they were packaged. You have no idea. You pick up this fancy tarragon, or you pick up this fancy whatever, ground clove or ground cumin. You want to make something interesting, but you have no idea. What you could do is buy whole spices like this. Grind them at your own disposal. Get a grinder. And let me show you the number one most used thing in an Indian kitchen. This is called an Indian spice box. I'll pass this around. Every wife, mother, sister, grandma has one. And this is how they cook. Every little spice, it's fresh. And they fill it up only as they need it. And if they want to turn it into a powder, they take some, there's a mortar pestle, they pound it and they put it inside, whatever it is that they need. If they need it whole, they use it whole. If they need it ground, they ground it right there on the spot.
Where can you get whole spices around here?
That's what I was gonna ask.
You know, we come from California. The red dot, the original red dot, is in California, and over there, we have turned and scoured, and there has been some places that have completely disappointed. We thought going there that we'd find what we were expecting to find. You learn. It's trial by error. You Google, you go on blogs, you talk to people,
You buy it here.
or you buy it here.
I like that.
Please, whatever you need,
You can place an order with us.
tell Chef Connor, he'll put you a baggie and you enjoy
We
it.
have worked with the wholesalers. We know and we trust them.
We have tried organic cardamom and regular cardamom, and my mom visits us every year she goes from India to London. London has the best cardamom. And we yet have to figure out where it comes from. And we've searched and we think it comes from Africa. But we bought cardamoms here from African markets. It's still not the same. One cardamom goes a long way, and what I was talking about, the seeds are so sticky.
Okay.
So
black
please
and
buy it
resinous.
here. As soon as we find a better spice, we change our distributor.
We like that in a heartbeat.
It's
We
you just get it
don't
here.
stick around and waste time in saying that, okay, we see that we found some place which is offering better quality.
We leave.
We leave. And they go, how come you're not buying? We say, you need to change the quality of your cumin. You need to change. The fennel we get from this place is bright green. The fennel we get from you is wheatish in color. I can smell that fennel in a double cryovac plastic bag. I can't smell your fennel when I open it up. What
And-
should I buy?
Dried chilies. We bought 7 different packets from 7 different markets, got clear glasses, put water in, put the chili in. 5 of them went red. So there is coloring on them.
There's all sorts of things that they do.
I don't want to even share what we have gone through.
No.
And we've bought from Trader Joe's we've done it all. And I'm not saying we're some great people, no. We love to experiment and go deeper and
To
deeper
test.
and deeper into things.
To test for the truth, to search for the truth yourself, to know for yourself your own experience. Nothing can be a far greater teacher.
Know it yourself.
Know it for yourself.
What was the other thing that has color?
The green mung beans.
Green mung beans it has green color.
Because they look similar to black mung beans, and they're cheaper. It's the markets are crazy. Suddenly somebody's got a bumper crop and does not know what to do with 50 pallets of black beans, and someone decides to put a natural dye on and sell them as green or whatever. It's like that. They don't want to lose money. The point is they have inventory, they need to sell it, they're trying to attract you. You become the more conscious shopper, buy what you need,
In India,
and test it for yourself.
a farmer who's been selling, a factory who's been selling turmeric, they were caught 2 years ago having marigold flowers put in.
Just to bump up the color. Just to increase the volume, probably. Something idiotic. They said, oh, if we take these flowers, which are yellow in pigment, we grind these up and add it to turmeric. No, turmeric is not that expensive for us. If we cut the cost by a quarter, okay, our profits go up more than a quarter. Okay, deal done.
Unfortunately, nothing's regulated.
No. And I feel so bad when I go to these high-end grocery stores and I see organic lentils and I see organic spices, and I really wonder, how is this impacting the average customer who's coming around and is thinking about buying this? I mean, where's the education? What is going to suddenly make you pick up? Would you just normally pick up a bag of organic orange lentils? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You don't know what. You don't know how. You don't know where to begin.
Skeptical.
It's skepticism. That's why, because you don't know what Because the whole market has now created a safe place for you to make choices for yourself. So you have to go in there with skepticism. Either that or find yourself riding on a bandwagon and still not getting any results and finding yourself still in the same health crisis you were in. It's not changed anything. You have to get proactive. You have to get serious. You have to really educate yourself. Because health is serious business. Why? Because Mother Earth did not want you to suffer illnesses. She definitely had an age in mind, and that is the natural decay in all things living. But she did not want you to suffer at 25 or 18 or at 60 even. Premature arthritis, inflammation of this particular gut lining, gut wall, glands going out of control, hormonal imbalances. Now entering inside your neural network, affecting the way you think, you behave, you live. Everything is at stake here. You don't have to feel afraid. You just have to empower yourself. You have to become fearless. And you have to take matters in your own hand. Make mistakes. Don't be afraid. You've only gotten this far by making mistakes. What's a few more? What's a few more? If it's towards your health, what's a few more? And I don't believe that you should give up and suddenly start boycotting this and boycott. No, just educate yourself. Keep your opinion to yourself. Know your own truth. Don't be alarmed that easily. Don't be swayed by people so much. God has given you plenty of capacity. And Mother Earth is providing. It's not like she's trying to starve you. It's not like she's trying to make you suffer. Your life should be enriched with abundance. Your life should be enriched with good health. But what have you done about it? What are you going to do about it? And I'll tell you, here in the West, that's the difficulty. We are constantly analyzing everything so much. We don't know. We can't act because everything is hanging. We want to wait for the proof to come from such and such person. Oh, if 10 people say it, okay, now I should start to take note. You don't want to do the groundwork yourself. Or you're too afraid, or you don't know, or you're worried, or you don't know how to start. You are worried about somebody else thinking what they think of you. You don't know how to begin with yourself. You don't know how to share what's going on with you with anybody properly. I mean, you don't know how to really voice out what's really inside your heart. And doing that is what makes you fearless. This earth, this creation needs fearless you, not the fearful you. That doesn't serve anything. A society, a country, should not be a country living in paranoia and fear. It should be a country where even if somebody should go ill, they know how to get help. They know where to seek it from. They know how, and others are there supporting that. Not isolating that. Oh, yeah. It's like you're on your own. And leaving you by yourself. Not supporting you, not giving you things that are available to you. It's okay. We are there for one another. This is a story of collaboration. We can only survive as a species for the next 100, 1,000, or 100,000 years only if we continue to collaborate with each other. And collaboration can only happen effectively if you know how to communicate. So communication, collaboration, that is what's going to lead to continuity. That's what's going to help us move. Even if you find yourself not finding any options anymore for yourself, still make the best choices you can and offer your life up as an example for the rest of this humanity. What's the harm in that? We're here, we're one. What I could not learn, It should serve as an example to somebody else. Let me be at least an example in my life if I could not do anything. You can know what not to do. You can at least know what not to do. This brings the third topic, freshness in food. What effects does fresh food have on the body, mind, and spirit? And what about leftovers?
Okay, let's talk about leftovers.
Who here likes leftovers?
He uses them all the time.
Okay,
Next
I'll
up.
take the question a little further. What's your idea of still edible leftover?
Well, that depends.
If it's not staring back at you, it's still edible?
That would be one criteria. If it's not hairy, that's another one. The odor shouldn't be too bad.
Too bad, I like that. There's a little,
You got
looseness in
There's
there.
some judgment involved.
Mainly, we'll have dinner tonight, we'll prepare it all. He's the cook in the house, I'm the cleaner. And the next day, the leftovers are with him at work.
Aha.
So I don't get any leftovers.
No, that is very effective.
Which
To me,
is-
that if, first of all, if food is prepared with a loving intention, let me tell you, the shelf life is longer. If food is made out of just pure of like, well, I'm just gonna slap together some beans and some this and some that, and and you make a ridiculous amount, now it sits there in 3 days inside your fridge, and you don't know what to do with it, and it's looking at you like, what do you want to do with me? And you're like, well, I'm gonna ignore you and I'm gonna go on to something else. It's your intention. If it's made with the intention to finish the next day, if it's made with the intention for yourself to sustain your body, that's a very, 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 very crucial element. Because that food, it has to get invoked with your intention in order to benefit you. So that's huge. It's really huge. You have to love the food that you're cooking for yourself. As in, not unnaturally, just be thankful, be grateful. Oh, I'm so happy that I'm eating this, or I'm preparing this for my family, or I'm preparing this for